Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 241, January 6th, 2025. Interesting. There's a game yesterday. There's a game Wednesday, so I figure, why not do the episode today? Illinois coming off of a victory over the Huskies of Washington. They leave the West Coast road trip with a 2-0 record, something that, Maryland did the opposite of, going 0-2. Glad everybody crowned Maryland like a week ago, but whatever. I don't care. But you get the job done. And there's something to the fact that, look, they beat Oregon by 30. The next game is hard. It's hard to follow that up. And you're playing a Washington team that, isn't very good, but they're also not like
terrible.
Horrendous. They have talent. I mean,
yeah.
Osabor's a good player. He didn't have a good game, but they really had one guy who kept him in the game. But other than that, I mean, you just think about, I would say Washington didn't have a great atmosphere at the game yesterday based on, what people were saying. But I think it's one of the better atmospheres of the four teams that moved into the Big Ten. And one of the harder places to play. You're going all the way to Seattle. It's a long flight to get to the West Coast anyway. You won by 30 in the game before. Kind of think that, Illinois is going to rely on hot shooting. And they didn't shoot the ball very well in this game, and they won. So I don't care how you win. You just have to win.
That's right. And to score 81 points while shooting abysmal from three. They shot like 19% from three. Found other ways to score the basketball. Underwood said he talks about this a lot, but he said, quote, "We have been building this program for 8 years on games like today. When the ball doesn't go in, how do you win? Just a horrific day of shooting," is what he called it. Guys miss free throws that usually make free throws also. Trey White missed 2. Boswell missed 3. And they still found a way to get it done. And like you said, DJ Davis basically carried this Washington team on his back. 11 for 19 for him, 7 for 14 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, 31 points for him. And Underwood talked about him. He said, quote, "We have to grow in that area because he doesn't start, because he's not in the lineup, doesn't mean we disrespect him." So I don't know if Illinois is disrespecting him. The dude's quick, and he found ways to get away from Kylan Boswell, get open shots. And, if they hold that kid to 20 points, Illinois runs away with this game. So, again, a win is a win, is a win, is a win. Illinois up to 13 now in the AP poll. So I see some guy is getting a lot of shit because he moved Oregon up from 8 to 6 in the AP poll this week. So it's good stuff.
Just your normal stuff from the AP. Just like that one guy who has Oregon 13th and Illinois 20th. Hinkle's right. The net does carry when Illinois dropped from 5 to 7 in the net, which is the unfortunate part of the net. But I think the committee hopefully isn't looking to rely. I don't think they really it's a thing, certainly, but I don't think the net is a huge part of the way they seed in certain spots, but maybe I'm wrong. If you look at Illinois' resume in the Big Ten, the top 3 teams in the net in the Big Ten are Illinois, Michigan, UCLA. UCLA and Michigan both have quad 2 losses. Illinois is 6-0 against quad 4, 1-0 against quad 2, and they're 4-3. All 3 losses are quad 1. This is a quad 2 game. I believe Washington is 91st in the net, so that's a quad 2 game. Oregon's another team that doesn't have a quad loss outside of quad 1. Purdue as well. Wisconsin, Ohio State. Penn State has 2 quad 2 losses. So they're, if you can just not lose games that you're supposed to win, like for Illinois, the Penn State game, I believe, is a quad 2 at home. And the net is one of those things where they expect you to just kill teams, I guess. I don't really get why it's so heavily weighed like that. But
margin of victory.
Yeah, because, you look at a team like Auburn. They're a net darling. They're 13-1. They've killed almost everybody. Their one loss is at Duke. So that's the unfortunate part of it. But for Illinois, you can't really be too concerned about the net. You won the game. you're 7th of the net right now. You're not going to drop if they keep winning. They're not going to drop that much further.
Yeah, they won't drop 2 spots because of this game. Jump 5, beating Oregon the way they did, and then drop 2 for this. So, I mean, I think you take that when you're going, 12 hours away or however far it is to get out there.
I will say
having a layover and stuff like that. So
another thing with the net before we get to this game, I take very serious issue with is that Kansas beat what I would call a slightly below average UCF team. They beat them by 99-48 and moved up from 21-10 in the net. Like, that to me is a problem. I know it's a road game. They won by a ton, but UCF is not a very good basketball team. So, I mean, UCF was coming off of a huge road win themselves, but I mean, that's insane to me that Kansas moves 11 spots because they won by 50.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever.
I agree. Quackle, what's up? Tommy, what's up? Bootzilla, Hinkle, thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate you. Let's get into the players of the game. I'm going to go with your favorite player, Trey White. 29 minutes, 7 for 13, 0 for 4 from 3, 3 for 5 from the line, 17.7 rebounds, a steal, 3 turnovers. I looked it up. He only has 3 or more turnovers in 3 games. So the other 2 being Wisconsin and Oakland. I know that he threw away that pass to Kasparis to tie up the game. I don't know really who that's on. I mean, I think it's a little bit of both of them. Kasparis should probably go on the other side of the court against his zone to get the ball. I think that's what Trey thought he was going to do. But he did have the biggest defensive play in the game. I think it was Davis that they ISO'd against Humrick House. We'll get to Humrick House in a little bit, but and Davis got by him. Trey White stuck an arm in, batted it out, got into a jump ball. Illinois gets possession. So that there was the play of the game for me. Brad did call the inbounds play ridiculous and bonehead, but he credited the team's resilience, especially Trey White, making that stop down the end. Trey just seems to be the guy that, he's always in the right spot. He had 7 rebounds this game, which he's been rebounding the crap out of the ball lately. Underwood on Trey said, quote, Trey is really good. We got to make sure we understand Trey is a really good player. And he's doing it by driving the basketball. Defensively, he's locked in, guarding really good players every night. He's learning to compete, to win, not just play hard, but compete. And those are differences. He's been exceptional. Continues to impress. I think somebody said it on the watch party yesterday. Do you think Trey White's the second best player on the team right now? Behind Kasparis?
I'm not doing lists.
Okay. Fair enough.
Kasparis is the best player, and that's where the list stops. There's no list after that.
Okay.
We're not interested in doing that. I'm not, at least. Because I think the roles in this team are so different. Like, I think the player that I trust the most, if we're doing a list, you kind of base it on, okay, who can get to the basket the easiest, or who do I trust to make shots, and who can defend? I think Kylan Boswell is the second best basketball player on the team, but I think Trey White has been playing like the second best player. So,
okay,
but the best player on the team is Kasparis, and Kasparis lands his 9th player of the game of the year. I thought he was excellent. I mean, 36 minutes, 18 points, had 4-4 from inside the 3-point line, got to the basket very easily twice early with layups, 2 for 7 from 3. I can live with that. It's not great, but on the season, you look at his numbers, he's shooting 40. It's not letting me scroll. Sweet. 41% from 3. And honestly, the nets were not as long as I'd like them to be at the college level in this arena. I think that's part of why they shot 5 of 26 from 3 right there, honestly. Depth perception's off. It's just a weird thing. Washington's got to do a better job at that. But Kasparis, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 turnovers we can live with, had a steal. Really good basketball instincts. Like, he gets the steal, reads the passing lane, gets the steal, and then just whips a left-handed pass to DGL for the basket. So stuff like that, like the stuff you watch, there's a reason why the NBA is going to be all over this guy. And I thought he was great. I think, He's great every game for the most part.
Yeah, and the little pull-up jumper he had from the free throw line where he just got the guy off of him by moving his body a few times, and that little floater, one-handed floater from there, it's just pretty. Did you think it was weird that Brad put him on Bradenbach to start the game?
Well, we refer to him as Wilhelm around here.
Okay, Wilhelm.
I don't think it was that weird. I mean,
do you think it's weird that Washington didn't try to post him up?
That could lead to a little poke ball away steal. I mean, who knows?
That's true.
Also, is Wilhelm capable of posting up effectively?
I
don't know. I mean, he made a 3 and give it 7 points. I mean, he's like 5th on their team in scoring, 4th or 5th. But no, I mean, Kaspers is 6'6". He's got like a good strong frame for a freshman. And Wilhelm is not your typical, he's not a good 6'10" big. He's fine. He can fill a role. I mean, he had their highest offensive rating in this game, by the way. Highest offensive rating in the game by a mile. Because the number 1 offensive rating in this game outside of him was DJ Davis, 136, Kaspers, 132, Boswell, 130, and then Wilhelm, 186. So obviously, when you go 3 for 4 from the field, it probably helps you. And he didn't do anything to really hurt them. Had 6 rebounds? Yeah. So,
okay. Do you think it's weird that he didn't put Hummerkaus on him instead?
I mean, Hummerkaus got bodied by a 5'6" guard.
One time.
Hummerkaus is an interesting basketball player. There's no doubt.
All right. Well, here's the stat line: 34 minutes. He played the most behind Kaspers. 2 for 9 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, 2 for 2 from line, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. Sounds pretty good defensively to me. People like Ethan are saying this is a terrible game.
I never said that. That's the crazy thing.
Are you sure?
I think
who was here yesterday?
I think we have to connect Jake Davis and Hummer because that's where the issue came. Because Hummer, I thought, was fine in this game. It annoys me that he shoots 20% from 3 in a game where he had some really good looks. But
he took some really bad threes this game, in my opinion.
The nature of the game. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain. I was somebody who, you'll probably forget about this given your narratives, but I was defending him when he wasn't shooting well from 3 a couple weeks ago.
And now you're so far against him, it's not even funny.
No. The only okay, now we go to Jake Davis. Jake Davis, guys, played 9 minutes, 0 points, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 rebounds, and nothing else. The problem is that you were punching down on Jake Davis.
I wasn't punch. See, this is where the narrative changes.
Ben Hummerkaus. That's what you were doing. That's what annoyed me.
I'm pretty sure you were propping up Jake Davis, which was pissing me off.
Jake Davis has a role on this team. It's that simple. He'll play 3 to 10 minutes. He can make threes. He's in the right spots on offense a lot of times, gets rebounds.
Yeah.
Defensively, he's going to get beat a few times. That's how it works. He's a sophomore. He played in the SoCon last year. No excuse for Hummerkaus, who's 35 years old. Come on.
True. All right. Enough of that. Tomislav.
Guns down.
Guns down. I give up. Crypto, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by the live. I know you missed the last few. Tomislav, 31 minutes, 4 for 10, 1 for 4 from 3. I think he had 2 late threes. One was literally in the basket and came out, but you kind of question it. Illinois was doing a really good job attacking the rim this game, but it is what it is. 9 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. I think he missed 3 bunnies, 2 back-to-back in this game. Do you think Tomislav's a legit post threat at all? Are you worried about having a legit post threat?
No. He's got good enough touch around the rim to where I think he can score on anybody, but he hasn't been doing it quite as effectively recently.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a legit post threat in modern basketball.
Not in Brad Underwood offense, I guess. So
they didn't have one at all last year. I mean, Dane Daja was okay for a little bit, but that offense played fine without a post threat.
Yeah, but on the defensive end, I mean, he had to guard Osbor along with Merez, and they held him to 2 for 8 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3. He did get to the free throw line 8 times, which 2 or 3 of those seemed like just calls that the refs made because he was going up. 9 points, 4 rebounds. So yeah, I like how he's guarding the post at least.
Yeah, he's a fine. He didn't hurt him.
He's a fine ball player. That
Fine
Thomas
game.
Love.
Fine game.
He's probably what, like 6th best on the team, right behind Jake Davis, or
No, we don't have to. I said guns down. He's also shooting, 73% from the free throw line. He's 22 of 30. We'll take that. 63% from 2. We'll take that. And 37% from 3. Perfectly fine. He hasn't had a big game since he obliterated Chicago State, which, well, Chicago State,
that doesn't count.
I'm just saying he was 9 of 12 from the field, had 5 assists and 23 points. But yeah, he hasn't had that real standout game outside of Arkansas. And I thought Northwestern, he had a good game too. He was 5 for 11 from the field, had 15 points and 12 rebounds. So he's good.
He is good. Boswell played 22 minutes due to foul trouble in the first half. 5 for 10 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3, 3 for 6 from the line. He did make his last 2 free throws after starting 1 for 4, which were huge. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. I think he's up to 10 missed layups in the last 2 games, but who's counting? Good game from Boswell. Not amazing. I thought defensively he didn't look as good this game either. That might have had to do with the 2 fouls that he got called on him early. But he continues to attack the basket. Sometimes he doesn't make it, but he's attacking.
Yeah, I think you just pick a player for Illinois to get 2 fouls in the early part of the first half, and every game this happens. But he's fine. I mean, he makes 1 of 2 from 3. Free throw line was an issue until the end, made 2 big ones to finish it. 3 offensive rebounds I like. No turnovers, but obviously normal night he's going to play more than 22 minutes. So, and the layups, a couple misses, but got fouled at least on one of those.
At least, yeah. Off the bench, by the way, the bench scored 32 points against Oregon this game. Half of that, which I still think you take 16 points off the bench. Of course, Davis having 11 or whatever he did against Oregon definitely bumps those numbers up. But best guy off the bench, I think, was DGL. He had to come in again for Boswell in foul trouble. He played 20 minutes, went 4 for 7, missed both his threes, had 8 points, only 1 turnover. He had an insane block. I think it was a foul because he got him with the body. And then there was another play where he came and just stripped the ball out on a breakaway, which I think he was at like half court. The other guy was at the 3-point line, and he still caught up with him. So he's again playing more under control, like I wanted from him. Brad said of him, quote, "He's not indecisive. He's just playing aggressive. He's so quick. He's so explosive." I played all 3 of those guys together tonight. I assume he's talking about Merez, Davis, and DGL. I'm not really sure. And I kind of like that. Dre is earning tremendous opportunities for what he is giving us right now. We are not winning both of these games without him. So big props to DGL. And I can't believe that we didn't give him a player of the game for either of these. But
0 for 2 from 3 in this game. Not good enough. On the year shooting 28%, but he's been really, really elite, like inside of that area. He's 25 of 33 from 2 this year, 76%, which I'm assuming is the best on the team by far. I mean, he doesn't have as many, attempts, but he's 8 for 9 in the last 2 games from inside the 3-point line. And if you stretch that back to so the last 4 games, so Missouri, Chicago State, Oregon, Washington, he is, and I'm doing very quick math here, 15 of 16 from inside the 3-point line in those games. And from 3, I mean, it's not great, but it's not, it's better than it was early in the season.
He's still shooting at 40% or something over the last 5 games I saw. Or
yeah, in the last 4 games, he is total. This math is very, very difficult. 4 for 10 in the last 4. So
okay.
Also, it may be a little concerning that he's 0 for 3 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
since, he's taken 3 free throws from the Maryland Eastern Shore game to Washington. He's 0 for 3. He was 2 for 2 against Alabama from the line, 7 for 8 against Eastern from the line.
I'd say that's pretty impressive. Like he's getting to the hoop and scoring without getting fouled, or he's getting fouled and he's scoring through the fouls though. So he did hit. I don't remember what guy with the too small yesterday with one of his moves. So DGL's been looking good. I think that we will continue to see this kind of minutes from him, honestly, if he keeps this up. So Brad says, let me find a way to play you, or give me a reason to play you. I'll play you. Who he didn't play in the second half was Riley and Davis. Riley played 10 minutes, 1 for 3, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 2 from the line, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers for Will.
I don't even think we have to talk about him. It's
okay. Sounds good. It literally is. So
yeah. He played fewer minutes this game than most, I guess.
Yeah. Merez played 9 minutes. I kind of thought he would get a little bit more play, but Brad relied on the starters most of the second half, and then DGL in there a little bit. So 9 minutes for him, 2 for 2, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Typical Merez game.
You can't win them all with your players to watch, because you had Hummer in the Oregon game. That was a big one for you. And then this one, tough.
I really thought Merez would have more run. But yeah, good pick with DGL though by you.
He's fine.
Assume that's what you wanted, was a pat on the back.
I was going to bring it up myself, but thanks for bringing it up.
You're welcome. I'm here for you, Ethan.
Good.
All right. Other notes and quotes. Out rebounded Washington 43-30. Washington had 9 steals this game. And then once Illini commit Jace Butler played 6 minutes and put up no numbers.
My God, I forgot he existed.
I think he was a Chester Frazier recruit, and Brad said kick rocks. So,
I mean, shooting, not too bad from 3, 37%.
He didn't do anything in this game, though. So,
he doesn't do anything in most games. I mean, he's played 11 minutes and put up 0 stats except for 1 rebound against Maryland in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I think he was the okay one to lose. So,
yeah,
I mean, when a guy decommits from Illinois and goes to Washington, that kind of tells you.
Well, I think it proves that we don't. I think it proves that we don't have to, get all
excited for players. You've been saying that for
we don't.
How long we've been doing this? 7 years.
For 100 years. We don't have to be disappointed every time we lose a recruit.
True.
Also, the KenPom is BS too, because Illinois dropped from 15 to 19 in offense and 7 to 13 in defense. Like, come on, what a joke! Really?
I saw that they are one of like 7 teams that are both in the top 20 of those.
Or maybe they were top 15 in both of those just a short time ago.
Shoot.
Well, I can confirm that all top 5 teams on KenPom are top 15 in both, so there's at least 5. But the stat probably is top 20 if there's that many teams.
Yeah. I don't know. Somebody made a pie graph, something I saw on Twitter.
They probably made it up.
Yeah, it's probably fake. Brad Underwood, I got a couple quotes from the post game. He said, quote, thought we did a nice job in the first 10 minutes. Then we got complacent with the basketball. And I had some really sloppy unforced turnovers, withstood some Colin Boswell foul trouble, and Draven gave us a big lift. Again, really high on DGL right now. And then he was asked about the days off between the Oregon and the Washington game. And he said, quote, it's really hard to lay around the hotel on a day off. I wish we played 1-day preps. We went really hard in practice and longer than we normally do. Then you come and you lay around. The Bellevue is really nice. Maybe we should go stay at a Residence Inn. I think that's a great quote, by the way. It should be like a Motel 8, but, anyways, that's what I got.
He just doxed where they were staying.
Brad said it. I literally quoted him.
I said he.
Oh, he. Okay, I thought you were yelling at me again.
No, other Big Ten teams are probably going to stay
very defensive today.
No, I'm fine.
No, I am against you.
Oh, that's on you. Yeah, you win game, you win some, you lose some, and they won this one. So
that's right. You win some and you lose some.
very annoyed with Washington scoring 46 in the second half, I will say.
That's a bunch.
Yeah, it's too much.
How many did Davis have in the first half?
I don't know how to answer
11? 11, I think, maybe.
That sounds so right.
It sounds right. I think he was 13, maybe. I think he was 4 of 7 from 3.
Would have been nice if they could have, guys like Tomislav and Big Hummer put up double figures in the starting lineup.
I mean, if some balls drop, I don't know. I mean,
I told you the Nets were too short.
All of them.
Nets were too short.
It's the Nets.
And they shot 5 for 26 from 3 as a team. The starters made 5 of them. Boswell had 1, Tomislav had 1, Hummer had 1, KJ had 2. And 5 for 22, the starters were from 3. So it's tough following up a game where they shot 16 of 29 as a team. So it happens. Not to be unexpected. If there was a game where they were going to shoot this poorly from 3, I'm okay with it being against Washington. Rather than, if it happens against Penn State or USC or Indiana or Michigan State,
whatever. Might not win that game.
Yeah. And I don't think there's really ever a doubt. Like, it got close, but I still thought they're gonna shut this thing down.
It got close. It was tied with a minute less than a minute left. It got close.
Yeah, and Illinois has a closer.
That's true.
Every game he's made a big shot.
Boswell.
And if it weren't for Will Riley, they might win the Northwestern game. So, and Casper's made some huge shots down the stretch in that game. So basically my point is that Will Riley is useless and I hope he leaves the team. That's a joke. All right. Illinois and Penn State Wednesday night, 8:00, Big Ten Network. Illinois now 13th in the AP poll, 11-3 overall, 3-1 in the Big Ten. Penn State 12-3, 2-2 in the Big Ten. Penn State lost to Indiana yesterday. A tough one there for them at the Palestra or whatever that place is that holds 20 people, all Indiana fans. Road loss at Rutgers as well for Penn State. That's their other Big Ten loss. They have wins over Purdue. They beat Purdue at home, and then they beat Northwestern at home as well.
Luckily, beat Northwestern.
Yeah. They're better than last year, there's no doubt. Illinois lost to Penn State last year in meltdown fashion.
Yeah,
they controlled the game the entire way, and then just whatever. Second year for them with Mike Rhodes, former VCU coach, as head coach. 280th strength of schedule, according to Ken Palm, which I find interesting. Projected lineup, they got Ace Baldwin, the point guard, 6'1", 190-pound senior, 8th in the country in assists rate. He's got 46 assists the last 5 games and 9 steals in that stretch. The refs will be a big part of this game early. How are they going to, officiate a Penn State team that likes to get handsy and forces a lot of turnovers? That'll be interesting to watch. Hopefully we get high knees, I think is my hope, because he's going to call a ton of fouls on everybody. And that's fine by me, I guess. Rather than Illinois turns over 25 times
because they're getting pushed on everything. I got you.
Yeah. Freddie DeLeon, the 5th, I suppose, is what the V is. 6'5", 195-pound sophomore Tennessee transfer. He's got 10-plus points in each of the last 3 games. They got Zach Hicks, 6'8", 205 senior, shooting at 43% from deep. Had his second best offensive rating of the season last season against Illinois with 13 points and 8 rebounds. I remember him kind of shredding them a little bit at times. Yeah. They also have Puff Johnson at the 4, former North Carolina player, was on this team last year, 6'8", 210-pound senior, 8 straight games with a steal and had double figures in 5 straight before the Indiana game. And then Yannick Conan Niederhauser, 7 foot, 250-pound junior, Northern Illinois transfer, 16 offensive rebounds in the last 4 games. He's also shooting 65% from 2 on the season. They have Nick Kern, DeMarco Dunn, Miles Goodman, all played 10-plus minutes against Indiana off the bench. Kern had 21 points. They're 166 in the country in bench minutes percentage. To give you a reference point, the Illini are 218th in the country. So neither of these teams relies heavily on their bench, but both teams, I would say, have guards that come off the bench that can make an impact on the game, especially with the recent developments of DGL. So, and obviously Studley, Jake Davis, who's going to knock down 7 triples in this game.
Nick Kern doesn't start, and he's averaging the second most minutes on the team.
Yeah, so kind of just that, teams occasionally have that 6th man who just plays a lot and is good. and they go with it, which is what Will Riley should be on this team. But unfortunately, not ready, not there yet.
And struggling, yep.
Some of the computer numbers, Illinois is now 17th in the country in 3-point percentage against. They were, I believe, second going into that Washington game. So thank you, DJ Davis. Kind of blew that stat. But Illinois is still good at guarding teams. They don't allow a ton of offensive rebounds. That's going to be a big part of this game. Illinois should be able to easily out-rebound this team. Penn State's not great at preventing offensive rebounds. They're fine at it, but Illinois is top 30 in offensive rebound percentage. On the flip side, Illinois is 6th in the country at offensive rebound percentage against, and Penn State's 86th in offensive rebound percentage on offense. So Penn State's good inside the three-point line, though. Both these teams shoot exactly 34% from three. And then Penn State shoots 58.8 from two, and Illinois shoots 57.8 from the free throw line. 75.3 for Penn State, 75.1. So 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage, free throw percentage. This is the closest I've ever seen two teams. Exact same from three. Penn State's 1% better from two, and Penn State's 0.2% better from the free throw line. I don't understand how that's even possible that they're that close.
That's crazy.
Penn State, majority of their points come from two. Illinois, same thing, but Penn State, 25% of point distribution is from three. Illinois, 36%. So Illinois relies a little bit more on the three. Average height, Illinois, 7th in the country. Penn State, 49th. Illinois is now 336th, by the way, in two-foul participation at 4.4%. Not a very modern thing from Brad there. That's a little disappointing.
If you get two, he's benching you. Is that what that means?
Well, I mean, I feel like it wasn't that way last year. Am I wrong? I mean, Boswell sat forever yesterday.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with Illinois keeping it, the game at a distance the first half.
They were 328th last year, so I guess it's just a Brad thing.
Yeah.
It is because they're always around anywhere from 4 to 10% every year in two-foul participation. So that's a little disappointing, but what can you do? Illinois' offense, by the way, has scored 80-plus points in every game post-Tennessee. And in their losses this season, two of the three losses, they scored fewer than 70, Northwestern and Tennessee. They scored 87 against Alabama. But if you look at the point totals each game, 112 against Eastern, 90 against SIUE, 66 against Oakland, which I don't know why Oakland does that to them every year, 87 against Alabama, 87 against Maryland Eastern Shore, 92 against Little Rock, 90 against Arkansas, 66 against Northwestern, 86 against Wisconsin, 64 against Tennessee, 80 against Missouri, 117 against Chicago State, 109 against Oregon, 81 against Washington. For Penn State, their offense is 38th in the country in efficiency. And they've had some games where they've put up a lot of points. They've scored 80-plus in 3 of their last 5, including 84 against Northwestern. They had 3 games with over 100 points, including it's a Purdue-Fort Wayne team that, could be the 3rd or 4th best team in the Horizon. I mean, the Horizon is not a very good league, but the metrics do like Purdue Fort Wayne, so drop 102 on them. Very nice, very nice. And then they had 81 against Purdue, and we'll see. I think Kern off the bench is going to be a huge part of how this game goes down, and that's not to tease my player to watch, but we'll go to yours.
All right, I'm going to go with Boswell for Illinois. I assume that he's going to have to guard Ace Baldwin this game, who is one of the best point guards in the Big Ten, if not the nation. 15 points per game for him, 8.4 assists per game. He scored double digits in all but 3 games. He is 0 for 10 from 3 in the last 2 games. And the last time that he's made more than 1 3 is against Clemson on November 26th. So, you got to keep him from getting to the lane, finding open guys. Boswell is going to draw that assignment, and then hopefully Boswell can get it going at the rim also. He makes 2 out of 4 of those or whatever. It helps the team. And then I'm going to go with Zach Hicks for Penn State. I think this is another 4 matchup that Hummer might have a struggle with. We'll see.
They handled Osibor pretty well yesterday.
Brad, well, that's because Thomas Love guarded him.
Yeah, so let's just do that again.
Hicks can shoot the three though, right? As far as I know. So Brad likes to slump Hummerkaus into the lane. So we'll see who's actually guarding him.
Guard the 7-footer. Have Hummer on the 7-footer.
Let's see it. Yeah. So I think that Hicks is going to play a big role. Illinois will have to take care of the ball. Penn State turns you over. They're averaging about 10 steals per game. So Illinois is going to have to handle the ball. And again, you got to stop Ace Baldwin. I expect Kylan Boswell to be able to do that. Please don't call 2 stupid early fouls, high knees, if you are reffing this game.
Big request. I'm going Casper for the Illini. Big matchup for him. Penn State turns teams over, like you said. And, he'll probably have Baldwin guard him. Big matchup for both sides in that one.
Yeah.
And then Nick Kern for Penn State. I mean, Illinois got burned by DJ Davis yesterday. We saw that. Kern's got the ability to do the same thing. You look at some of his games this year. He's a dangerous threat on the offensive side. He's shooting 40% from 3. But you know what? He doesn't shoot a lot of 3, so that doesn't even matter. But he's shooting 40%, 2 for 5. So I guess he's capable of doing it. But he does damage inside the 3-point line. 67% from 2, 77% from the free throw line. Had 21 against Indiana, 13 against Penn, 13 against Drexel. Had 10 against Rutgers, 12 against Purdue, but had 8 rebounds, 3 assists to go along with 3 steals in that one. Plays a lot of minutes. And last year against Illinois, he had 22 points and made 10 twos, 10 of 17 from 2. So big spot there. We'll see. Trey White should guard him, though, if Trey White's in the game.
Yeah. Bootsill says, I feel better about playing them because our defense is much better than in the past, and we haven't had those letdown games at home so far. Yeah, the only problem I see is Illinois is back to playing real Big Ten teams because let's not act like Oregon and Washington are. So we'll see how it goes. Predictions.
I mean, Oregon beat, Alabama, San Diego State. And
real Big Ten teams. Guys that like to muck it up, that play quick, and they also play hard, and they also foul a lot. And refs are going to, again, be a big thing in this, like you said. So I still got Illinois winning this game by 5. I think it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be tight. Illinois pulls it off, though, 78-73.
Yeah, if there's a team that wants to come in and muck it up in Champaign, there's like 2 or 3 in the country that can do it, and Tennessee did it. I don't know if there's anybody in the Big Ten that can do it. Penn State, we'll see, I guess, but I'm taking Illinois 76-67. I think Kaspers is going to have a quadruple double in this game. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and 12 steals. I am not joking at all. So
okay. All right. Big game from Kaspers. I like it.
Wouldn't that be something, though?
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Do you consider Wisconsin a real Big Ten team?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 86 points against them, kind of, easy win.
You can't call Washington and Oregon a real Big Ten team right now.
But it's not a reason to be upset that they beat them.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what your point is.
My point is that it's back to real life in the Big Ten. It's not sitting at the Bellevue and playing Pac-12 schools. That's my point.
Oregon is a good offense, though.
Quad double. Bootzilla is excited for that.
I would be more concerned about this if Brad Underwood didn't go 13-7, 16-4, 15-5, 11-9, 14-6 in the Big Ten. I think they'll be ready for every game. I think they might go undefeated in the Big Ten.
I hope so. They weren't ready for Northwestern, though.
I don't know if it's the problem with whether they were ready or not in that game, if you remember, is that for some reason the refs did not do anything.
Let them play basketball.
For the first 10 minutes, they didn't call anything.
Yeah. There
was no foul calls in the first 10 minutes. That's a different Illinois team. That's early December.
I agree. I think this Washington game was huge, like Brad said. To win games without scoring is huge going forward, or without making baskets, I would say.
What's your version of a real Big Ten team right now?
All of them, but Oregon, Washington, and USC.
What about UCLA?
UCLA can be a real Big Ten team.
Okay. I'll allow it. Because they can't score and they play good defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we
And
say
they
that
got Sky
can we say Minnesota is also not a real Big Ten team?
Sure. Yeah. Minnesota can be in there.
They're trash.
I would agree.
But I think they cover against Ohio State tonight.
What's the spread?
5.5, I think.
Okay.
At Minnesota.
Who else
Ohio
plays
State
tonight?
Wisconsin plays somebody.
Okay.
Wisconsin plays Rutgers at the Rack. That is 6 o'clock, Fox Sports 1, Piscataway, New Jersey.
What's the spread on that game?
It's got to be like 50.
1.5. Wisconsin, 1.5.
Is Dylan Harper in or out? That's the big question.
That I don't know. What is wrong with Dylan Harper?
He's hurt. I don't see anything. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about what he's hurt with. Oh, we'll see.
Freshman Dylan Harper remains out of practice, and he is still recovering from a knee repair.
Oh.
That's got to be old.
Yeah, I was going to say.
All right. Doesn't say why he's hurt. He was under the weather is why he didn't play in the last game. So I would assume he's back.
He better be.
That's why it's only 1.5 at the Rack. Hinkle says Brad's never slummed it if he thinks the Renaissance Inn is a major downgrade. That's what I'm saying. Like it was kind of a little hoity-toity there, Brad.
Yeah, not a good look if we're gonna be the ones calling out real Big Ten schools. Our coach is being a bitch about hotels.
Philip says Minnesota, the Missouri Valley.
Do you question the Atlanta 10? Do you question Brad's toughness if he's complaining about that stuff like that?
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I think that's just what he knows. I mean,
do you think
he's forgetting about his JUCO days when they probably stayed at the Red Roof Inn?
Do you think Brad's done a good job at Illinois?
I would say that he's done a phenomenal job at Illinois. And as much as people worried about Brad Underwood coming to Illinois because he wasn't somebody people knew, I think it was a great hire by the AD.
Do you think people will want Brad fired if they don't make it to the Sweet 16 this year?
Yes, they probably want him fired right now. Hinkle says, tough look for the meet me in the parking lot guy.
Yeah, I agree.
Bootzilla said he's done the best job since Bill Self. How long was Bill Self here?
Yeah.
4 years? 5 years?
Like 01, 04 or something, right?
Yeah, it wasn't very long.
3 years, 01 to 03.
I would say he's the best hire since Bruce Weber.
I don't want to take any shots at Bruce, but come on.
I mean,
I keep forgetting.
Went to the national championship game. What's Brad done? Went to the Elite Eight once. All right.
Bruce Weber inherited one of the greatest coaches of all time's team, and
yeah,
Brad inherited, cue ball John Gross's shitbag team.
That was all sarcasm. Everybody, sarcasm. Ha 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 ha.
I already defended Brad against it, so nobody's gonna. Doesn't matter. I keep forgetting this team plays Duke on February 22nd. That's gonna be something.
Yeah, you got him winning that game already. You've had him winning that game since they announced it. So
I would argue that Illinois is going to embarrass Duke in that game. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Except when Mason Gillis, who is 11 for 39 from three this year, when he goes like 8 for 10 against Illinois, 28% from three for him. He shot 47% last year. God, it's basketball. It's like
sounds like somebody that used to play for Illinois.
All right, that'll do it for us. We will
no watch party, folks.
It's on you, not me this time.
We'll be golfing, hopefully, as long as the roads get cleared off by Wednesday. So
I'm okay either way. It's up to you, no doubt.
Did we inherit these last two terrible announcing crews from the Pac-12?
I've never heard of any of these. Well, Jacobson's always been on Fox, but I haven't heard of the other people who did the games.
I would assume that they're only going to be over there. So you don't have to listen to them the rest of the year, Hinkle.
This could be a Hummel game on Wednesday. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Or Bardo.
Yeah, probably Bardo, now that you say that. All right, that'll do it for us. We'll be back sometime. I don't know what the next game's Saturday, so we'll probably be back Friday or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So everybody next time.